Hello friends, welcome to the Edupedia world. In this tutorial, we are going to learn about the loop statements. Loop statements are control flow statements. We are going to study introduction, for loop, while loop, do while loop, for each loop, jumps in loop, and label loop. In this tutorial, we'll try to cover introduction and for loop, and we'll be studying remaining topics in upcoming videos. So let's begin. Introduction. A loop statement allows you to execute a statement or a group of statements multiple times. So that means you can execute any group of statement multiple times. So this is a diagrammatical representation how loop can be represented. So you can see from the start point we do have a condition. If that condition is true, then it goes to the conditional code. If it is false, then whatever options are available after that code line, that's get executed. So what happens in the conditional code is once it reaches over here the conditional code and the condition becomes true, again it loops back to the condition. So it keeps on looping back to the condition till the condition becomes false. So it will execute the conditional code, again check for the condition, again if it's true, again it will again it will execute the conditional code, and this will keep on happening till the condition becomes false and it goes outside the loop. Fine. So yeah, every loop has three sections. So the three important sections that you need to know about loops are: first one is initialization. Initialization of loop variable happens in this section. For example, the initialization variable can be anything as simple as int I equals to 0. Okay. Then we have increment. In increment, statement to run, proceed, increment or decrement the loop is there. So if there is any statement that will allow the loop to move forward, that is a part of increment statement. Then we have termination, the condition till which loop will run. So once that condition becomes false, the loop, the statement or the execution will come out of the loop. If the condition is true, then the loop will keep on running. Fine. So these are three important sections that every loop must have. Okay, now we study about the types of loop. So we have three types of loop. Basically, we can say we do have more than three types of loop. There is also a for each loop, but all in all, it is considered a part of for loop. So that's why I haven't written it over here. But yeah, we do have a for each loop, which is part of for loop. So for loop executes a sequence of statement multiple times and abbreviates the code that manages the loop variable. So in case of a for loop, the initialization, termination, and condition are a part of a single statement. So it's like, it's an abbreviated form. Everything is written in a single statement. So, and it's like, very commonly used loop. Then we have while loop. Repeats a statement or a group of statement while a given condition is true. It tests the condition before executing the loop body. So in this case, there's a condition which is given in a while loop, and the loop will keep on repeating till the condition is true. And yeah, it's gonna check the condition before executing the loop body. Do while, like the while loop, so it is exactly similar to the while loop except that it tests the condition at the end of loop body. So firstly it will execute your loop body and then it will test for the condition. Okay, so let's begin by studying the for loop. The for statement provides a compact way to iterate over a range of values. Okay, so this is a syntax for the for loop in which we have for keyword. After that, we have three section of a loop. which are included inside this for, which are initialization, termination, and increment. And then we have statements. So these statements are like whatever you want to execute in a loop. So whatever you want to execute multiple times are included in the statement, and these are like how it is done. And yeah, we are going to see an example of that. The initialization expression initializes the loop. It is executed once as the loops begin. So, right, the initialization happens is executed only once as the loop begins. It initializes the loop. So basically, it is initializing the loop variable. When the termination expression evaluates to false, the loop terminates because that is the condition to stop the looping. Then we have increment expression. The increment expression is invoked after each iteration through the loop. It is perfectly acceptable for this expression to increment or decrement a value. So it need not always be an increment. It can also be decrement. So it is just to, keep the loop ongoing. We need to increment or decrement. So this is a diagrammatical representation. You can see how the syntax is there. Firstly, in for loop, the initialization is done. Then we have a condition. If the condition is true, we execute a code block. After executing a code block, we increment that for loop variable. And after the increment is done, again the condition is checked. So now again, if the condition is true, again the looping happens. And if the condition is false, it comes out of the loop. So I hope it's, quite simplified. Now let's see example. So there's a class for demo. In that there's a method public static void main. Inside that method we are having a for loop. The syntax of the for loop is for keyword. Inside those brackets we are writing three sections. First section is for initialization. So for initialization we have written int I is equal to 1. So it is initializing your integer variable, that is I, and giving it a value as 1. So this section is initialization. So once the value is initialized in the next section, you need to separate all these three sections by semicolon. So after you have placed the semicolon, write the condition. So in the condition we can write whenever you want to stop the loop. So my condition is I is less than 11. So this loop will keep on repeating till I is less than 11. So once this condition becomes false, that means if I becomes equals to or greater than 11, then the loop will stop. Okay. So after we have written condition, again we need to place a semicolon and then we write the increment or decrement. So yeah, this is the increment or decrement condition where we are incrementing the I every time. So it runs as follows, like firstly it's gonna initialize the I variable to 1. Then it will check for the condition. Condition is I need to be less than 11, which is because I is 1 right now. So it will execute your system.out.println statement. So it will execute count is, and currently the count is 1. So the value of I is 1. So it will print 1. After that, the increment will happen. The I will be changed to 2. So once I becomes 2, again it will check for the condition. If the condition is true, since the condition is true, it will again execute count as 2. So this loop will keep on executing till the I becomes 11. So when the I is 10, then also the condition is true and it prints 10. After that it increment the I to 11. And then we need to check the condition. It will check the I is 11. So the I less than 11 is not true. It becomes false. So at that time, this will not print the value of I. It will come out of the loop. So this is how it's executed. We are also, going to run a program in our IDE Eclipse. So let's do that. So okay guys, I'm going to create a class over here. My class name is for example, and over here I'm going to write public static void main method. Fine, now I'm going to write a for loop. So inside our for loop, what we are going to do is we are going to print the table of 2. So let's do that. So let me initialize a variable, or we can simply start by writing the for loop. So for int I equals to 1. So I'm initializing I to 1. Then since I have to print this table till 10, my condition will be I less than or equals to 10. So I can either do I, less than 11, so it will also execute till 10, or I can do I less than equals to 10. This will also execute it till 10. Then I'm going to do I plus plus. So I've written my initialization condition and increment for loop. Now I have to simply print the table of 2. Now inside this I'm going to print 2 into I. Okay. And I also want to write some of the, you know, and I also want to write the explanation what I'm doing. So I'm writing 2 into, and then I'm writing yeah, I hope so this should work. Now I'm going to run my code. So yeah, you can see it has printed the table of 2. So it's saying 2 into 1 equals to 2, 2 into 2 equals to 4, till 2 into 10 equals to 20. So you can see how is it working. Since I initialize the variable of I equals to 1, and that's why the value of I over here is 1, and it is going to less than equals to 10. That's why it stopped at 10, and I'm incrementing I every time. So in the first go it will print 2 star, then the value of I which was 1, then equals to, and then it will multiply 2 with I which will give us 2. So that's why the first line that is printed is 2 into 1 equals to 2. Then it will increment the value of I to 2. Again it will check for the condition I is still less than 10. Then it's going to execute this statement again. If we keep on doing that till I becomes 11, it will still execute for 10 because we have included equals to 10. Fine, so this is how we write for loop. And yeah, I'm going to also let you know, what are different types of things you can do in for loop. You can also print this table in a reverse order. For that, I can initialize the value of I to 10, and I can put the condition while I is greater than or equals to 1, and then I need to decrement the I. So in this, I'm instead of incrementing, I'm using the decrement, and I'm starting my table with the value 10, and I'm like decrementing I till 1 and printing the value of this table from 10 to 1. So this is one thing, and one more thing I want to tell you is you can also try to run your loop infinitely if you just do this. Okay. So if I'm doing this, it will execute my loop infinitely. So yeah, over here I'm trying to run this code. This is simply keep on printing 2 infinitely till I run it. Since my ID has the option to stop it, so I can do that. Terminate. Yeah, so it has terminated. Fine, so this was about for loop. We'll study the while loop in next video. So thank you guys. Let's meet in next video.